Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, kings, queens, peasants, and pussy poppers. It's your boy Cliff the Gift, slanging that wood, not that stick. Your man might keep it 100, but you see me, I'm gonna give you that extra inch. You might want to lose that motherfucking wimp and get with a motherfucking pimp. Take you out, go get some motherfucking shrimp. But you know, a nigga don't simp. You understand?
And a shrimp. At least he was half on it.
Simp and a shrimp.
I didn't call myself a shrimp. Y'all, why y'all putting words in my mouth, man? Y'all did this shit last week, bro.
Hey, bro. You get us with the shrimp part. It's like, damn, bro. Who's the shrimp?
It's a throw-off, bro.
It's a throw-off. Be an intro, bro. I don't even want to discuss this part, bro. I'm trying to do my intros, but I'm trying to make my shit more lively.
Also, now you don't want to address the shrimp.
I just said I could take you out for some shrimp.
Shrimp.
See, last week you said
it ain't
you
good
was
enough,
the shrimp.
man. Women be wanting lobster and crab.
I mean,
and
right.
shit
Like, you got to step it up. You got to take them to the court now.
Yeah, like, that's like the state. Yeah, the court is fucking it up. Because they serving waffles. And
shout out to the Court Cafe.
Hell yeah.
Fire. Go get y'all some of that strawberry butter.
For sure. Hey, I'm doing a raffle. I'm doing a raffle soon. It's going to be $1 to enter. And you enter for a chance to have me treat you to the court.
Look at y'all. Look at my man right here. Staying humble and giving back to the community, man.
I love y'all.
Good shit like that. But anyways, man, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy T Rich, you funky dog head bitch. We right here again for another edition of Cliff Notes Radio, the podcast. Get you a bar. I'm finna to pass it to my brother to the right of me.
It's your boy Young Lil, a.k.a. Young Lily, also known as the Black MacGyver and Mr. 420 itself. I just want to say I got another fresh cut. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all enjoy. This is for y'all.
Bro is working on consistency now.
This wasn't even for me. This was for y'all.
Look, he took that bar from the last show to the
all
heart.
that in. You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking rough. Yeah. I'm gonna just go ahead and embrace it. That's why I got this young hat on.
Hey, but that's cool. I got you. I got enough fresh cut for all the homies right here.
Yeah. We got a special guest on the show, man.
Yeah.
One of our first guests from when we very first started the show, my sister, my love, my homie, my motherfucking
gang.
Heart. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, give it to him.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, I Speaks Volumes here. You feel me? And I'm happy to be back. I ain't got those great intros like y'all.
It's
like,
all
y'all
right though. It's all right though. You got work though.
Right.
That's crazy. Like you got work. So it's like you don't even need introductions. Like this lady has literature. This lady has poems. This lady has music. She has everything. So
I'll make sure y'all cop a
she
book.
doesn't even need
you don't need an intro. Your reputation.
All you gotta go is just look. La Speaks Volumes. Just type her name in. Like when you Googleable, you don't even need no.
Right. You can say that. You Google me. Google me.
Low key.
And she's the perfect guest to have on for what we wanted to talk about tonight. In a sense, man, I'm really torn as a man, and just hearing the cause me as a guy, I look at women as really being the light of this world for where we going. You know what I'm saying? I really put women in a high regard. And this thing about equality, in my mind, I feel like women are feeling oppressed and fighting for something that I feel like they should kind of, push to the side a little bit and just go more into themselves. Like you don't need the approval of men to say that you're doing the damn thing.
Right. But I think our society is starting to move towards that though.
I mean, somehow.
But you know what? Gosh, you always get me on your show when you got some shit to say. I'ma just let y'all keep talking real quick.
No, so, bro, what I think it is, I think men make it hard for them to do their things when we have things like the government maintaining control over what a woman should have the right to choose on her own. With what she does with her body, and then the fact that all of these things that are advertised and shown towards women, like most of that stuff is placated and shown by men, and based off of what the man wants or what would improve the man's life. Like, what need is there for a thong? Like, there's nothing comfortable about it, but a man want to see it.
But at the same time, you have your entities that we were speaking about earlier before we started this show that make that be the more attractive thing. Me and my friend were talking about looking at Tinder the other day. And
a dangerous place.
A dangerous place for any man to be. You know what I'm saying?
Been on there.
Every face that you see seem similar. It's like the contouring, the makeup, it's like they all have
Like they all watch the same YouTube tutorial.
Yeah.
Oh well, guess what? I don't got none of that on. Okay.
I did,
Come on, natural woman.
and that's one thing, and that's what I'm saying, and that's why I say you're perfect for that. You're perfect for this conversation because I look at it, and people saying like men are subjectifying women to a certain thing, but I feel like y'all putting yourself in your own box by a lot of the dialogue and conversation y'all put out there for us to even dissect.
But that's the thing, like maybe that's the only thing they want you to get right about now. Cause maybe
Sex?
No, I'm saying like
Beauty?
okay. So first of all, men and women both want sex. So
not always.
I mean, but it feels good on both parts. So we do.
For those that enjoy it, some people just don't enjoy it.
So, but I think, like, number one, I feel like women can be multifaceted individuals.
Agreed.
Just because they put this amount of shit out on the forefront for you to see on a social media or a web platform is like, that doesn't mean that that's all she's limited to. You know what I'm saying? She's probably just putting it right here to see if this is all you want. Like, if this is the only thing that you're entertained by, okay, well, then that's where I know I am.
Well, what makes me want to go further than that if that's what you're going to present to me?
That's why you're on Tinder, right?
You can, but I mean,
you're only on there for certain things.
But you can only buy what you see. Like, you can only buy the products you see. If it's something hidden in the back of the store, how am I supposed to know it's there?
Exactly.
But then the thing is, like, you're talking about if something's hidden in the back of the store, but it's like if you don't have any like intent to even like go to the back to like or any curiosity beyond that has nothing to do with, really to me with just the woman. It has everything to do with the fact that you're not willing to go beyond that.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's where the analogy goes. Like, are you in there just shopping to get what you need for the moment, or are you trying to buy the store? Like, what's your interest level? How interested are you?
But just because what's being showcased doesn't mean that that's the only good part of the store.
No, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
because you can see the storefront, right? You can see the storefront, but you, in order to know what is really in there for you, or what you would really be interested in, you got to go inside.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, do you want to buy? Do you want to go in and just grab something real fast and go? You want to get the drawers and leave, or do you want to go in and invest time in there and learn what it's all about?
I was speaking to someone earlier, and they was telling me about the social dynamic of what's expected of a woman. You know, women are expected to take up less space. Women are expected to be seen and not heard, so to speak. Women are
I've had that problem.
What year is this?
Lately.
I'm just saying this is how this is. I'm not even saying my own words. This is what someone else told me from hearing this from a female's voice. You feel me? Mm-hmm. This is how they feel they are perceived in this world. And La just said she agreed. You know what I'm saying? From hearing how that's what she thinks socially.
I not even thinking socially. That's as a woman. That's what's been told to me.
Right.
You know that hey, if you talk this way, you're not supposed to talk like that to a man. You know what I mean? Or if you're presenting yourself this way, you come off as if you're superior, like that type of thing. So it's those like I want to say like
traditions.
Yeah. Those not even traditions, because I feel like those are like that's not even,
those aren't even the traits of a real man.
I don't even feel like that's low key. I feel like that's outside of tradition, because at least for a man to have, I feel like a lot of things that were traditional, you know what I'm saying?
They're phased out.
Huh?
They're being phased out.
Yeah. So it's like now, not all, yeah. But then if a man has certain like respect and all of that type of things, you know, in the household or whatnot, it's because he's upholding a certain, I want to say, dynamic in his household to be called the man of the household and be respected as such. You know, I feel like those things aren't necessarily like some men don't uphold themselves to those same traditional values, but still want the same,
but expect it,
same
respect or same acknowledgement, you know, but you're doing less than.
Right.
So
I see where you're going with that, but to go into where we were saying socially how women feel they're like the dynamic that men put out here for women to be the social norm of saying, you know, women are supposed to be behind a little bit or not as strong and all these other things. It's like if you want to change that dynamic, the same way I feel my argument with feminism being equated to the same civil rights movement as the civil rights movement, or you know how people try to portray the gay rights movement to the civil rights movement and try to say like, oh, well, it's something we're being oppressed and
well those are, I mean, I can see where the similarities may lie, but you got to realize like civil rights, like black people back in the day were fighting for just rights to be considered human beings,
exactly,
like and treated as such. Like the
and
gay movement, don't get me wrong, they're still
thing.
human. They're still human, but black people have to like you couldn't live life without people seeing like identifying you like they know you're black.
Exactly.
You didn't have to disclose that you're black.
Well, let me
gay people, you can go and be gay, and you don't have to disclose it to anybody.
Let me round this point off. And that's my thing with feminism. When certain women say, "Well, if I go fuck 30 guys, I'm considered a hoe. But if a guy fucks 30 women, he's considered a player or a pimp or whatever." And it's like, well, really, that's just the perception of people. Like, why are you so concerned with the opinion?
Perception of other people. If you don't think you're a hoe, then you're not one.
Exactly. And it's like if a girl calls me a dog, it's like men are expected to not have feelings in the same regard as if a woman ever hits a man's never supposed to hit a woman back type of thing. You have no reason to ever put your hands on a woman type of thing. But it's like, I'm supposed to have a different set of feelings than you. And you're supposed to have a different set of feelings than me, but we're supposed to be equal. Or I'm stronger than you, but you strong, but you're supposed to be a police officer and in the same regard. It's different things.
People don't want to surrender their leverage.
That's why I say it's not about equality. It's more about accountability. You have to take that accountability with the same equality. If you're gonna be equal, then you got to be accountable to the same things that's gonna fuck me up in the end too, with the same regards to my feelings, the same regards to me dealing with who I am as a person and defending myself in the same way.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, okay, so there's things that people can look past, and there's things that you just really can't look. Like, I cannot look past a man feeling like he's super thorough. He's a tough ass motherfucker for putting his hand on a woman, but you won't have that same energy with a man. Mm. Like, I can't look past that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like men and women, they have to yield to each other at some point.
Absolutely.
You know, so I can look like. Now, when it comes to women being promiscuous and men going around and hoeing themselves around town, yeah, I get how society may look at one different from the other. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't want a key. I mean, everybody don't want a door that can be opened by any key, but everybody wants a key that can open any door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think we're moving into an era where if that's what she wants to do, that's what she wants to do. And I don't think it can necessarily... I'm not saying this is for everyone, but I don't think it can necessarily lower her stock, because it's like, don't nobody want a chick that don't look appealing to everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
How do you feel
that
about
is
that?
very, very, very true. You guys hit so many points. I'm like, okay. So, as far as the whole gender equality thing, because I feel like the way that it's being presented is as if like women, like it wouldn't be a problem if there wasn't such, like women have been forced into a role to where now they have to speak up for themselves, I feel like. And it's like, because there's been so many things that have been happening over history, you know, that has degraded us. It's like, hey, we're here. You know what I'm saying? You want to take so much from us, but then you don't want to hear us speaking. You know, you want to take so much from us, but you don't want us to stand beside you. I don't think it's ever been this thing like, hey, we're the same as men. It's more so like, we, as human beings, we have to take the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And then also acknowledging, no, we're not as strong as you. You know what I'm saying? We can't do some of the same things as you do, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, men can't give life.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Men can't give life. And my thing is, my problem has
You can conceive life, but you can't.
Right.
Your body cannot.
But your body does not have to go through those changes, you know? And I'm like, my issue with that is, especially this day and age, I feel like not all men, but a lot of men that I have seen lately have relinquished themselves from accountability or their responsibilities
I agree.
as men, right? And we were just talking about tradition. Like, traditional values aren't really the same anymore.
Nope.
You know, you relinquish your accountability and your responsibilities as men, but guess what? My responsibilities do not change as a woman. But then you're telling me, hey, you need to hush because I need to be heard. But yet and still, you're not doing nothing for me, for real.
When you put a message out there as real ass bitch give a fuck about a nigga,
but let's be for real. But let's be for real about that. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain mindset that's going around. I had put something up about on a post the other day how I said the world created the independent woman, and now she's a threat. You feel me? Because
I think it's because they've acknowledged their power.
Right.
I think, like, when you look at, like, you know, the powerful women throughout the most iconic women throughout history, the Nina Simones, the Maya Angelou's, and such and such and such, they recognized their power, but they couldn't garner such a following as they could right now in 2019.
Absolutely.
Like, women are so empowered nowadays because of these different platforms that they have, and now that they fully acknowledge, like, hey, like, we got leverage here. Because number one,
But you got the leverage, but what do you want from the leverage when what you're saying
that
is...
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Go ahead, keep going.
And that's where I'm about to go.
What you're saying is what?
When what you're saying is the leverage that I want is to just be able to get a balling ass nigga to take care of me to where I ain't gotta do shit.
No. That's what I was about to get into.
I thought he was about to say
that's exactly what my point was about to be, Jalil. I'm sorry. I was going to say, like,
what do you want to do with your leverage?
No. Because that's why I said the world and men, some men have created this independent woman. You feel me? Traditionally, like, you couldn't go court a woman without being introduced to her family, her father, and things like that, right? And the reason for that being is because they want to know, do you have all of these things that my daughter needs in order for me to trust you having my daughter, right? So, and men used to fight for that, right? Yep. That used to be a thing.
But we don't give a fuck about her feelings at this point. We just want to know who can take care of her the best. And as her dad, I'm gonna throw her out there to the nigga
I don't think that's fair.
Well, I think back in the day, because you got to go back to the thing about being. You got to go
exactly.
Okay, you got to go back to the thing about being equally yoked.
Absolutely.
Because
my point.
Say you got a nigga that he looks the prototypical nigga, like, he's a handsome guy. Y'all know y'all gonna have some great looking kids. He comes from a decent family. All right, that might be the one for you, but he's missing all these integral parts as a man. Like, he's missing accountability. You know what I'm saying? He's missing the ownership of all of his bullshit. He's insecure about all kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? He puts his hands on women. And these are things that are held in secrecy. These are things that you don't naturally put on the forefront.
Absolutely.
Because if you had to wear them on your shirt, it's like, okay, now are you still as valuable as people may think?
But back in the day, if her dad liked that guy, if her dad was he know he came from a good family, baby, you need to go be with that man.
Exactly.
He got money. His
but
family.
But the dad's not dating that dude. That's why a lot of those fucking marriages didn't work out.
Exactly.
But that to me, that's still the point. The point is, like, at the end of the day, like, I don't feel like now that women are out here, real ass bitch, don't give a fuck about a nigga. It's been a mindset that's been put out there because of the shit that's trending out, or because of the fact that, like I said,
They're taking their power back.
Yes,
but they're taking some of their power.
They're taking some of it back, but the way the message is presented is not it. The way that the message is presented is what the problem.
It's more so a trend.
That's the trend. But me as a woman, I feel like I don't have to give a fuck about anybody who's not I'm not asking nobody to take care of me. You get what I'm saying? Right. I have everything that I need to be self-sufficient. I don't need you for nothing. But then at the same time, the only reason why that comes out of my mouth is because now there's this stigma about women that when they're with a man or whatnot, they want a man to take care of them. Or now men are like, this is a new day and age. You know what I'm saying? You got to hold your part just like we hold our part. But I'm like,
and the thing is, there's two messages that can come from a phrase like real ass bitch give a fuck about a nigga.
Right.
Only one of them is less trendier than the other.
Right.
Instead of endorsing the more independent part, like I can be self-sufficient and secure with myself, you want to go for the part that also comes with that phrase, like, motherfucker, I'm the bad bitch, I'm the hot motherfucker, you need to take care of me because owning me is like, taking care of me is like,
it's like a luxury for you.
It makes you look better.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, since you can get your own, and since women can have their own in this day and age, it's like you don't have to submit yourself to the mistreatment of just saying like you're doing this for money. It's like women have canceled out any nigga who makes less than them. You know, like, no heart, no integrity, no
And that's the thing, I don't know who you fucking with. You know what I'm saying? Or what, like, who you see, because like if you talk to me and my group of friends, like, it's absolutely not like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, even though like I am self-sufficient, if I would love for a man to desire to want to take care of me, to want to see, to want to lift me up in whatever way he feels,
what if necessary. You got a Subway paycheck? Would you date a dude who his job is working at Subway?
You can't ask me shit like that because I've dated niggas from the PJs. Okay, I've dated niggas who ain't had nothing.
So, how do you feel about if a man wasn't quite there yet financially, but he wanted to, you know.
I just had a situation like that, to be completely honest. Like, he's more so focused on his like career, and music is, we know right now that's not anything that's like solid, you know what I'm saying? And like, I don't feel any type of way. I feel like we all got our times where we ain't got it, you know what I'm saying? And like, that doesn't define anybody to me. You know, in my opinion. But what I will Go ahead. But what I will say is that when it comes to the things that I need, no, I won't go to him. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that.
How does that make him feel as a man? How does that make you feel as a woman, saying that I'm dating a man who, when I need something, I can't go to? When I'm having an issue,
it depend on what she need though.
But like, because then we're talking about. Just basing it off of like, fine, he can offer me love. He can, you know, like he
what's love got to do?
No, but but it has everything to do with what I want.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I feel like the problem we've had this entire discussion is that we're putting everything into one box.
But you're saying love don't pay bills, but then you don't want a female that's looking for you to pay bills, right?
But exactly.
So
that's exactly what I'm saying. The thing is, if you can handle yours, this person can handle theirs. Why is it not equal accountability? I can take care of myself. You can take care of you. Why don't we get together and build something?
You know why it's not. This is the thing. If I'm taking care of myself and you're taking care of you, first of all, I don't even see, like, I don't even like the whole, like, if I'm with you, I don't even want to, what's mine is yours, you feel me? Right. That's how I feel. But then, like, I got my own shit and you got your own shit, but then you want to run me? You want to tell me what I can't do or how I need to look in front of your friends or whatever.
Nobody saying nothing about that.
No. I feel like
She's speaking on just experience.
That's just what the problem has been to me. Like, the problem hasn't been the fact that, you know, Nick, you have your own and I have my own. I feel like you're not, if you are saying, look, you taking care of yourself and then you want to have say so and how I'm taking care of myself or what that looks like when it comes to me representing being with you, that's a problem. Because because without you, like, I don't need your approval for anything.
But women do the same thing. Women do the same thing to men.
I was just getting ready.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say they do the same thing, but it's like at the same time.
There's a version of that happens.
Yeah.
There is a version like
I'm not
they
saying that it isn't.
Like, you can't do this on social media. Like, don't like them hoes pictures and why you don't do this with me when we out. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not doing anything that's gonna directly make you look bad. I'm not doing anything disrespectful. It's just I don't feel like I need to change because you want me to change this part of my life up. It's like it's not affecting our relationship. You just you want to have a sense of control over this part of my life.
So I just feel like when it comes to like being in relationships and stuff, like people have to like really sit down and figure out like what is disrespect and respect to you.
No, totally.
You feel me?
Totally.
Because it's more so that's what I feel like it is. Everybody has their different perceptions.
But y'all
of
a
shit.
team. Like,
Yeah.
when you're in a relationship, you're literally a team. But it's like a lot of motherfuckers look like, even though you're a team, one person has to take the lead, and usually women look at the guy to take the lead, but then it is some women that's like, nah, well, I feel like I can lead us too. Now, most men are not going to concede to the woman being the leader. Most men are going to just be like, oh, well, I got this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to run it like this. You know, but there does need to be an understanding of you guys working in unison. You know what I'm saying? And putting out things that make you uncomfortable. Like, babe, I don't like when you do this, or I don't like when you do that, or I actually love when you do certain things. Or how does it make you feel
that I am making more than you? How does it, those things do need to be
said.
They do need to be talked about.
Because if you a dude, like, number one, if you a dude and you know your chick is the real breadwinner, and you insecure with that doesn't make you feel, like you feel some type of way about that. As you need to tell her, or you need to build up some kind of tenacity to say, hey, baby, like, this is how I feel about this. I know you worked hard to get where you at. So how can you help me to become a better man? Like, help me make better decisions to put myself in the position to where I can match your hustle and match your mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being a nigga that just sits at home all day playing Madden, you know what I'm saying, waiting for you to get back.
And so now we're talking about just self-determination and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, I feel like a lot of the reasons why these insecurities are these topics are surfacing is because there are insecurities out there that are not being addressed, or people are not acknowledging about themselves.
Men, I feel like men are much less eager to confront their insecurities than women.
And I think that's why the conversation is like, it's negatively connotated when it's like women just want to be heard the same. It's not more so we want to take control and stuff like that. I feel like there in this day and age, when men are doing less, from what I've seen, I'm not talking about y'all, you know what I'm saying? But where men are doing less, but they want that same acknowledgement as I would give like my grandfather who my grandmother didn't have to work a day. You feel me? But he worked for his family and he brought the checks home, and she bared his kids, obviously. And when he came home, he had cooked food, he had all of this. And it's like you want all of these things, you know what I'm saying? But then you still don't feel like you have to uphold.
But see, here's the thing. I guarantee that they didn't start at that level. It took time and it took effort and it took struggling to get to a point where he was able to like do that. It don't always.
I didn't say that it had to. I don't have this perception that shit has to be like that
No,
way.
but that's what I'm saying. A lot of times now it's like some people aren't willing to build. They're not willing to like. I know you ain't got it all right now, but
And
I
that's
see your
my
potential.
point. You're not willing to build, but you want all of these same things, though. You're not getting any deeper.
Cliff been trying to get what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I have too, bro.
letting
I ain't said. I've been trying to get my joint off the whole
Go
joint.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
I ain't stopping niggas. I'm just saying, like, my thing is now in this day and age, it is not at a point to where you can't help, and it's also not at a point to where it's just so easy, or it's set up in a way to where, yeah, I make so much more than my counterpart. It's like you have the same. You have a lot of the opportunities that I have. And you can make this situation. See, the end goal. What? This is my thing. This is my clip note. I'm gonna drop on this. My thing in all of this gender equality, and especially in a relationship world, I want to meet a woman who has the same end goal as me. The end goal is we trying to take care of our family. We trying to build up an empire. We trying to raise kids who gonna change the world. It has nothing to do with how much I make or how much you make or how many more things you get than me. What is the end goal? If I can support you emotionally in a way that you don't support yourself, or you can support me financially in a way that I can't support myself, or this and that, but at the end goal we build this empire that is predicated upon
so
what
I
we
should
want.
still be able to be a part of that conversation the way that I want to, right? As far
course.
as
What if you got multiple goals?
What you mean?
When you building an empire, it's not just one thing you're trying to strive forward to. You're trying to do
vision
different
is clear
things.
though. The vision is clear as a. It's gonna be multiple. Any goal that you've ever tried to get, my nigga, I'm sure it didn't. The route to it didn't look like how you planned it to fucking be.
Well, it depends on how long you planned it.
But then that's
But even then,
and
no-
the thing
no
is, we
roadmap
just
is
not having
perfect.
those conversations.
No, it's not
though.
perfect. But what I'm saying is like if you can't just decide overnight, this is what I want to do. Nah, it takes more planning than just overnight.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But it doesn't.
And it
start,
takes some experience too.
But it
of
doesn't start-
it takes wins and losses.
Yeah.
And it doesn't start and stop with me saying, "Well, hey, bro, if this girl don't make X amount of dollars, then I can't fuck with her."
But
if
you-
this
But
guy
I don't
don't
think-
make X
but
amount
But you
of
can
dollars,
put
I
her in
can't-
position to make X amounts of dollars if you have knowledge.
That's how a nigga feel. But how many women feel like, well, I could put this dude in this position to make this type of money. I'm gonna look out for him because we're trying to accomplish this same end goal. He's the type of dude that
I've
Look-
definitely done it.
Look at cats like, okay, Gucci Man is a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
Before Gucci went in, I know I wasn't a huge fan of Gucci, but I liked his drive. I liked where he was going. And from the outside in, if you wasn't a fan of Gucci, and I wasn't very much a fan, you could look in Gucci and be like, this motherfucker is a clown. He got a big influence, but he's low-key clownish. But he had enough knowledge to when he had to go and do his bid, the chick that he was down with was able to go out and manage and go and do a whole bunch of shit while that nigga was still down.
Well, that was that, but I don't put that on him. I put that on her. She had the wherewithal to not go blow his cash, but instead invest and build something while he was gone.
But you don't think that Gucci gave her some knowledge to say, hey,
Why
He
is it
gave
that she
her the
couldn't-
starter kit.
Yeah,
Like
I say
he
funded
got-
the capital, but she had the mind on her own to not go waste it and instead do something with it. That's not on Gucci. That's on her and the kind of woman
but
that she was
Gucci,
raised
but
to be.
okay, but Gucci had
The capital.
he had the capital, and he also
He positioned her, though.
He positioned her, and he also had his own shit going.
But how many people get put in a position and they fail because they don't have the wherewithal? I'm saying yes, he
But-
provided the capital and put her in a position.
But his
she
point
executed
was
it.
his
the
point
point-
was
the
you
point
can
is,
build.
if you
No,
it
but
doesn't,
I'm
if
just
you-
saying the woman deserves some credit in this too, and it seemed like we give it
That's
all
what
to
I'm
Gucci.
saying. But what I'm saying is,
No.
what I'm saying is, if you're a man,
No.
listen, knowledge is much longer and thicker than just dick or money. If you can put a woman in position to go ahead and build upon what y'all already have, nigga, you won.
Of course. I'm
You
not saying
already
he's not a
won,
winner.
because-
But
in what you said even sounds
no.
misogynistic.
But
that's what I was trying to say.
But that is the point, though. That was pretty much the segue that I was getting into. Like, you haven't positioned me to do anything.
And
you need my positioning?
But why do you need me as a woman to bear your kids, to do all of these things and still be a woman to you, but you can't position me? And then I still have to look at you the same way. I still have
and that's the thing. It's like, okay, but that's why I say when we talk about but see, we said this off of camera, so that's why I say it's not here. But that's why I say when it's not equality, it's balance. And it's not, and where it's saying.
So why
like,
do you want to forget that you have a part? Like that's the balance that men uphold is not there.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is for women to say, like, it still has to be a certain part on your side too. You still have to take apart a certain side.
And my thing is, my role as a woman, I said it the first time. My role as a woman does not, regardless of all of these you want to put more accountability on me on top of the roles that do not change of me as a woman. You cannot do certain things that I can do. Apparently, it's and just one being the main factor.
Women can make moves that men can't.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I agree, 100%.
Okay. Would you agree, Julie?
Yeah. And there's moves that men can make that women can't make.
But
but to me, it's like we can't forget the ultimate thing is that you want a woman for certain things, and then also to continue your legacy and shit like
and
that.
What women are also saying is, you need to treat me the same way, but it's like I'm telling you that you're superior to me. I'm telling you, it's like it's low key being said. What was just said is low key being said. You have to allot me the opportunity.
I don't look at it as allotting her the opportunity because the opportunity is there, but can she seize that opportunity is the question. Is she prepared to seize it?
Is my man providing it?
That's what I was saying. If you can't give her the knowledge to when the opportunity comes and she can seize it and grab that motherfucker by the throat and really seize her opportunity,
and that's
have you really served that woman? Have you served her right as her husband or her man?
But that's why I say that it's equal, because it takes a certain type of woman to understand and see where she can take the knowledge, what you got, and where your thing is, where your money getting thing is, to where she can flip the other side of that, get the emotional side, the visionary side, and make all of this equal out to a certain opportunity for both of y'all to create that same individual goal that y'all set out to say, we want to have a strong family.
The problem is those conversations. The problem is these conversations are stopping at, oh, she just want a nigga to take care of her. Oh, he ain't got that. The reason why things are not manifesting the way that you're talking about is because the thing is, because of the dynamic that we're in, because of social media, because of all of these things, you feel me? Those conversations are stopping at, oh, she just want a nigga to take care of her. Oh, she must be a gold digger. Oh, this nigga ain't got enough.
Or he can't, or
whatever the case may be. That is where the conversations are stopping, and it's nothing deeper than that. So this whole conversation or these songs and shit that you have coming out, real ass bitch don't give a fuck about a nigga, they're gonna keep happening because nobody is digging deeper.
And a lot of these songs are coming from the youth.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like the youth, like I'm just much more older, but
like,
these are younger stars that are coming into the game.
And then on top of that, the older people, you know, some of us have been raised by young parents. Like my mom is a young parent. You know what I'm saying? The guidance as far as how things should go or how to manifest these healthy, like building enduring relationships, it's not there. These conversations aren't even just being had on our level as companions, as we would be. They're not on any other level. Like the older motherfuckers are not correcting anything either.
But that's because a lot of them are in the wrong. And a lot of the things that we're dealing with now with our generation is dealing with the mistakes that they made.
And not saying that a lot of them are not in the wrong, because we understand that they made mistakes too, right?
But just like
they could at least be acknowledging those mistakes too.
And that's
right to tell you, hey, this is not the way that you should be going, because I've been there, done that, and that's
But as I said, it goes back to what Cliff said about accountability, but not just between the sexes, but even between the generations of where each generation misstepped and made it more difficult for us.
Right.
The burden
Right.
that we have on us is so
What-
difficult because we went from the generation before our parents
But-
that were able to work and make a certain way of life and live
Right.
to now the role of a man is more different than it's ever been.
Right.
Like we can't just go get a working job in a plant no more. Them ain't
I'm,
around
I'm
like
glad
that.
you said that.
We have
'cause-
to. The
'cause-
role of a man is like it's more difficult to find our place and operate within our place when our place isn't it isn't what it used to be. We can't. We don't have that same rock to stand on.
And like, and
So
like,
and
like
we do.
No, it's everything's changing
I
now.
feel like the rock up the women has gotten more
No,
sturdy.
I say you guys have gained more power in your position, and we are in
Because
a way,
we've acknowledged our
and that's because you guys are finally being able to express yourselves.
I think-
because men that is on the part of men, and I've said it on this show many times. Men through history have had a horrible habit of downplaying and pushing down the woman and her true power, and the fact that she is way more powerful than we give her credit for.
I think because I'm agreeing with what he's saying, and like how you said you have a younger mother. I had older parents growing up. Like my father was, he had a plethora of different trades with his hands. You know, he was a foreman. He did construction, landscaping, plumbing, all of that shit. And then my mother worked in a psych ward for 20 years. And I think the revolution of industrialism and everything, it's kind of, I don't want to say phased out, but I feel like there's a lot more different opportunities now. And I feel like tech is growing a lot more. And I feel like there's more of an administrative push towards the workforce nowadays. And I feel like that's where women are starting to thrive because like
They're graduating
and-
college
and
at a higher
they're graduating,
rate.
yeah.
They're more
They're more
black women
educated.
CEOs.
So companies are looking at women and black women specifically. They're looking at them as more inclined to, okay, we're going to give you this job. You can come and do this because we don't see you as problematic as, say, a black man or just a man in general.
So you saying she gets hired before you?
Just because everything that they need.
She fits two qualifications. She's a woman and she's black.
It's not even
It
that.
doesn't
bro.
even have to do with black. It's
Bro,
just
it's
because
not-
she's a woman, their nature and their
I don't think it's that, bro. It's
The
not
fuck-
that at all. Women are graduating college at a higher rate than us. They're completing things. They're getting shit done at a higher rate than us. Men fuck off more. Men make more stupid permanent mistakes.
I wouldn't say that.
as-
I would
it's-
say
it's-
that they're
it's-
more.
That's a whole.
It's
nother
all in the
conversation.
numbers, bro. It's all in the
I
numbers.
would, I would say
Bro,
that women are
are
more
graduating
inclined
college
for,
at a rate 2 times ours, and those are actual statistics.
How many
That's
times
not
you got
made
pulled,
up.
How
bro.
many times you got pulled over and you felt
But
like
see,
your
then
situation go
But
down?
that's
you
the
can't-
thing.
but
Like
that
if
ain't
we're
it,
gonna
bro.
do, if we're gonna,
I'm saying,
if
yeah.
we're gonna bring those things into the
Yeah,
conversation,
yeah.
Those are like- those
it's
aren't
going
fair.
to this. The thing, what's happening now is because people aren't really getting down to, like, if we have a personal relationship, we should be able to talk about these things because at the end of the day, like, I feel like once you start bringing in, like, men are going through this and going through that, this is when these gender wars come up. Because at the end of the day, like, women are going to say the same thing. There are certain things that you
Right.
will never experience that I have as a woman.
that's true.
So I do not, like, at the end of the day, we all have circumstances that have stopped us or could stop us from
Right.
getting to where we want to go. At the end of the day, what type of man are you? And what type of woman do you want? Because
Vice versa.
Of course.
it's always vice versa. That's what I'm saying. Like, when I'm
He
saying
just had
these
to add
things,
it in to
I
make
just-
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's always vice versa. Like, what type of person are you? What type of person do you want? And, like, what are you going to take to have that? What are you going to do to have this human being in your life? And at the end of the day, in any relationship, whether it's a friendship or whatever, you should be adding to someone's life
Yes.
and not taking away.
Cliff notes.
So that's how I feel about it. If you are not adding to my life, I don't really need you.
Exactly.
I'm,
And also-
and it's not just as a man. It's just more so, I don't need you. If I have to do all the work
for friends,
for
family,
anybody.
If you're not adding nothing
Y'all,
for anybody.
conducive to bettering myself, I love you, but
Bye.
fuck you.
And I feel like that's a great part to end this conversation on, y'all. We want to
thank
y'all for tuning in, man.
Damn, bro, I wanted you to. This should have been like a two-part little segment, man. Like, fuck.
I know. I wanted to say something. Bro.
Hey, La say she fuck with us, so we gonna be able to get her back. I don't know if
she's a busy person too, though.
You know.
No, I'm not. I mean, like, hey, I'm a full-time 7th grade English teacher. Okay.
Come on now.
So
education.
It's like right now. Thank God I got my lesson plans done, so I could go home and go to sleep. You feel me? But like you got me. Like
7th graders is not easy.
Oh hell no! I had somebody.
That's that point
today.
To where it's like you
no,
know,
7th grade.
Like, low key want to fight kids. Like
no, low key.
Middle schoolers is like.
I went up yesterday in my class. I ain't gonna lie. I was like. And I said it. I did. And I was just like, because this little boy, he really called me out my name in front of my whole class.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, you have no sense of respect. And I'm going to tell you right now, you wouldn't say that in front of your parent, so you got me fucked up. See? And you about to sit your ass there, you're going to learn or get out.
Hey, call your daddy up here, bro.
Because my thing is, I come there and do my job every damn day. You're not about to disrespect me.
Hey, call your daddy up here, bro.
You're not about to disrespect me. I done stayed up till 2 a.m. to come here to teach you.
Oh, y'all, hey,
you better get this lesson.
Everybody drop off their little handles and everything, man. We gotta make sure everybody.
Man, I'm trying to drop these handles,
Starting with Jalil.
I'm trying to drop these handles, man.
I'm right there with you, man.
The way dropping, but man, follow
y'all
me.
Look good. Y'all look good. I just want y'all to know.
I appreciate that,
fellas.
But follow me on Instagram, Tough Crowd Lil, TUFFCROWD_LEL. My Twitter, call me Jalil, JALIL if you can't spell.
It's T Rich on both IG and Twitter. It's _T with 2 E's _Rich.
All right, and mine is La Speaks Volumes, spelled just like that. La Speaks Volumes, and both Twitter and everything, Instagram, all that.
You already know it's the captain of the ship, that young nigga Cliff. You can follow me at RealCliff225. You know I always keep it alive, and you know a nigga ain't about that jive. Y'all want to go ahead and make sure you follow the Hive. I'm not Beyonce, but you can follow us on YouTube at Cliff Notes Radio.
He be writing these motherfuckers down, bro.
I swear they come off the top of the dome, dog.
I can't.
RealCliff225 on all platforms. Cliff Note Radio on all platforms. We love y'all. We thank y'all for watching us and following us.
Like, subscribe.
All that shit.
All that.
See y'all.